These are the 8 reasons why you should work for free. I'm gonna say this now before I know what you guys are gonna say. That doesn't mean that everyone should go work for free. In fact, this whole conversation is contextual. What does that mean? There are 3 things that come to mind before you should even consider working for free. Your family, your health, bills, and other commitments in life. No matter what, there's a roof you have to put over your head, there's food that you have to put on the plate. If you have children, you have to feed them. You need to take care of your life circumstances. So this advice that I'm about to give and these reasons for working for free, it's not just applicable to everybody in the world. However, given the context of your life, your age, where you work, what your income is, do you live at home? Do you not live at home? If there is an opportunity to do this investment up front, I'm telling you right now, I've done it multiple times. I'm gonna continue to do it because it works. Why would I work for free? Like, why would I give my services away to somebody with no monetary compensation in return? That doesn't make any sense. Actually, once you hear these 8 reasons, you're gonna understand why it's the smartest move you could do. So you ask yourself, what are you getting in return, right? Because it's not a check. The whole point is that this is a long-term game, and this value up front for you putting in time for free is more beneficial than any monetary compensation. Reason number 1, building relationships. Look, if there's something that you're really interested in doing in life and you find a way that you are able to find a company, find a person, find a brand, an opportunity for you to explore a workplace that involves a topic, a niche, something that you like to do, and you're doing it for free, you're actually entering relationship building. Relationships is the name of the game, not just in work and our professional lives. In life, the people that you know is essentially the most powerful variable at hand here. Yes, people with more money have a little bit more power with what they're able to do with the money that they own to themselves. But that doesn't mean that you should only surround yourself around people with bajillions of dollars. There is a laundry list of people in the world that are not worth billions and billions, that are extremely wise, extremely successful, and know a lot of other people in the world to potentially connect you to the other people that you're trying to get to at the end of the day. So one of the first things you need to keep in mind is the relationships that you build in a place where you're offering your services for free is actually a huge investment. You being yourself, you meeting people, interacting with others around you. You know, you would be surprised when you go to a place and you're there for an internship or you're there for a short period of time and you're working for free, and the other people in the company maybe ask you what you're doing there and you say that you're volunteering. Do you know how much respect people have for people like that? Because the truth is that most people don't work for free. So when they come across somebody who's doing it themselves, it's actually really inspiring. It says a lot about you, it says a lot about your character, and it says a lot about your humility, because you're able to put other things to the side and say, I'm here to learn, I'm here to work, and I'm in here for the long run. So thinking about the relationship building that you have an ample opportunity to do when you just come to a place and say, I want to learn, you've already put your foot in the door. Reason number 2, there are no expectations in return. Let's say you wanted to be a fitness trainer and there's a gym in your area that you found that you said to yourself, I really like what they're doing, the coaches there seem awesome, and the demographic is exactly the kind of people that I want to work with, but they don't have any opportunities for paid positions. Well, if you go there and you talk to them and you introduce yourself and you say that you're an up-and-coming coach and all you want to do is shadow and learn and ask questions and spend a couple hours a week just trying to understand a little bit more about their business operations, first of all, chances are that they would say yes. Second of all, there is no downside. You don't have any specific expectations in return when you go to a place and you're offering your services for free. See, without you earning a salary, you're not making any money, so your investment up front is your time. And once you've evaluated your time, because we talked about that in the beginning, to see if this is actually something that you can do comfortably and make sense, well then you have to ask yourself, how valuable is your time? Like, explain to me any downside. I'm gonna put it this way. Okay, you have an awful experience, well, you could say, wow, what a failure. You having an awful experience or one that didn't provide you any value actually just exposes you to maybe something that you don't want to pursue anymore. And you wouldn't have crossed that bridge if you hadn't jumped into that opportunity. I studied marketing and management in college. I was involved with different companies, startups, big corporations, doing social media, selling software, marketing deliverables. And throughout my time gaining experience in small companies and large companies and local companies and online companies, I started to find out things that I wasn't necessarily interested in anymore. That's a win. In fact, I might make the argument that that's more valuable than finding the thing in the beginning, because once you find and experience the things that you aren't interested in, you become more tunnel vision. You can start checking things out that become irrelevant to you and never go back to those things again. We talk about chasing passions and finding out what it is that we love in life. It's not like we just grab that out of thin air and suddenly we have our passion right in front of us. No, you have to try things. You have to experience things. You have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And in this case, you might have to be willing to work for free in the beginning to eventually get you in a place where now 3, 4, 7 steps down the road, that initial investment of working for free got you to where you want to be. The point is because there's no expectation in return, you want to treat this like a full-time paid job. And you'd be really surprised when others around you see you treating it like that, because they know that you're actually not earning any money. The return on investment in that is priceless. Reason number 3, free networking. Similar to relationship building, networking is how you're gonna start to get your name out there to other people. Wherever you go to work for free, there are gonna be opportunities to be involved with the company, not just in its hours of operations. Yes, that means if you have an opportunity during your workday, go grab lunch with somebody else who works there and have a conversation, introduce yourself. Yes, that means after work, maybe grab coffee with somebody in the office who you wanted to meet and get to know them. Yes, ask the other people around you if there are events going on, things that you can get involved with, because ultimately you're there to actually learn and absorb as much as you can. Take advantage of this voluntary opportunity. I mean, think about it. The more involved you are on a voluntary basis, the more options that are gonna come to you. The more options that come to you, you have more opportunities to network. Networking is the name of the game. Hey, when was the last time you were in an elevator, somebody else walked in and nobody said anything? What if maybe you just said good morning, good afternoon, and introduced yourself? You have no idea who's standing with you in the elevator. Not that you need to go say hi to every human that you see, but smiling, saying hello, and introducing yourself could lead to you meeting somebody important, a conversation, exchange of information, which actually might have gotten you the next gig. And you see where I'm going with this? Reason number 4. A great opportunity to build your trust. Imagine a hiring coordinator at their desk Monday morning receives an email from you. You introduce yourself, say who you are, how you found their company, and that you wanted to come work there for free for a little bit. What do you think the first thing that's gonna go through their head? Delete? No way. It's not like people get messages like these all of the time, but when they do, it's worth exploring. And now the people around you are seeing how hard you work, how committed you are, how interested you are in learning, how interested you are in growing, and that you actually see the long-term value in doing something like this. What you're doing is you're building trust. Having more trust in your employer or the people around you is just gonna make you a more valuable person. Yes, you need to get there on time. Yes, you need to report to who you need to report to. Yes, you need to follow the instructions. But you stepping in this scenario is already putting you in a different category of people that are different. Being different is cool. Being different is unique. And being different in many ways is extremely valuable. Hey, I'm sure that maybe you have a best friend or a group of friends that you really, really trust. If anything, God forbid, were to happen or you needed help in a certain situation, you trust them so much that they're there for you. Well, in the work setting, when you're able to build that trust that we're talking about, you're given more slack. In the beginning, you're fresh, you're new, you just got there, you're a volunteer. You have to learn. But over time, after this trust is built, some of that friction is decreased. And at some point during your opportunity working or volunteering with this place, you're actually just gonna feel like everybody else in the office. Yeah, of course, you're not getting paid for the time that you're putting in, but it's a reflection of you being consistent, being committed, being willing to learn, being interested, being involved, being a good team member, being honest, being loyal, being not just invested in yourself, but invested in them. You do all those things, and what you're doing is building trust. The more trust that you build, the more comfortable you're gonna feel. The more comfortable you're gonna feel, the better that you're gonna perform. As you perform better, now you're just growing. And when you look at that, there is a return on investment with all that growth. Reason number 5, exposure to the whole business. You know, one of the cool things coming in, working for free, being a volunteer, is that after time, you have the leverage to ask if there are other parts of the business that you want to learn. Let's go back to that example of being a fitness trainer. You come in, you start shadowing coaches on the floor, you get an idea of the programming, you get an idea of how the gym works, meet some of the people who are coming in. Well, after a while, you want to learn a little bit more about the X's and O's of the business, the sales, the marketing, the communication systems. As you built those relationships and as that trust was built, when you go and ask something like that, of course they're gonna say yes. They trust you and they value you. So now you have an opportunity to learn more about the behind the scenes work of that company. So you came in as somebody who wanted to shadow coaches at the gym, and now you're getting exposure to the business operations itself. You know, one could make the argument that all this information is at your disposal on YouTube or the internet. It's not that that's not true. You can go to YouTube, you can look at Salesforce tutorials, you can look at the best strategies that companies today are marketing themselves and putting out advertisements. But you being there in-house, getting the actual groundwork done with the people that you're learning from is extremely valuable. Who knows, maybe one day when the people who are doing these behind the scenes work aren't available, or maybe one is sick, or maybe one of them, after they began to trust you more, said, hey, do you want to try this out yourself? Well, now you're actually getting the real world application of putting out a newsletter, of emailing clients, of sending out marketing deliverables, of analyzing social media posts, of creating content for the company. Now you're an operator. Reason number 6, you're literally free. So there's 2 different things here. Number 1, you don't cost them anything, so you're literally free to them, which is okay. And number 2, you're volunteering your time for free, so if it doesn't work out, you can go. You're really not costing them anything other than the attention that they have to give you. But let's say that you do find something that you actually enjoy. 2 things are gonna happen. Number 1, you're gonna work way harder than you thought you were going to be able to, even though you're not getting paid, because you genuinely enjoy the work. Number 2, you're learning. And going back to what I mentioned before, with that learning curve, growth is inevitable. When the employees around you are teaching you things and they see you growing, they're seeing you becoming more of an asset to their team. At some point in time, and I've seen this happen regularly, they're gonna ask you to join the team. That's right, and pay you. Everyone's time is valuable, but you putting in a tiny bit of work up front to show them that you're willing to do this at no cost will turn you from being somebody who's free to them at no cost to somebody who's not getting paid, because your willingness to learn and your growth over time expose them to your abilities to help. Reason number 7. You think you might have found a passion. Passion to me and most people is something that you will never let anything else get in the way of you achieving. Really, if it's something that you genuinely love deep down in the bottom of your heart and it's a passion of yours, well, you're gonna do anything by any means necessary to go and get that. We don't come across passions on a regular basis, and it's not like during our childhood or growing up we're just given this bucket of passions. We need to find them out ourselves, and it's a brutal process that takes a lot of patience and a lot of resilience and a lot of trial and error and a lot of humility and a lot of risk taking. So if you feel like there actually is something, a topic, a niche, a job, a company, a thing that you really want to do, it's a sign that it's time to sacrifice something up front. And if that sacrifice means working for free, offering what you know and your skill and your eagerness to learn at no added extra cost for somebody else, it's time to work for free. I'm not talking about forever. I'm talking about for a period of time to learn about yourself, learn the things that you think that you love, and maybe learn the things that you thought you loved but you really don't. And that's okay too, because that's just added experience to your resume for you to continue to go after the things that you really want to do. Going after passions doesn't look like this. You're gonna try something that you like and then find out that you don't like it. But when you come across that thing that you genuinely love, you're just gonna shoot for the moon. Reason number 8, you understand this short-term investment is for your long-term value. If you're able to take my advice here and work for free, you might ask yourself, how am I gonna pay for rent? How am I gonna pay for my food? How am I gonna provide for myself or the others that need me? In the beginning of the video, before I said I'm gonna explain to you these reasons why you should work for free, I mentioned to you that there are other variables about your life that you need to get in order first before you make a decision like this. I'm gonna give you a quick story about myself, because this is actually something I've been doing for a long time. Like I said, I studied marketing and management in college, and really I never found myself through this work. Look, at the end of the day, I was making good money, I had incredible connections, I was in different industries, but the work never felt meaningful to me, and it didn't feel like I was going after something that actually I loved. Once I realized that I'm willing to take this risk of going over to Israel and working in basketball, I knew I wasn't just gonna pack my bags, go to Israel, and have myself a nice full-time position with some basketball club. After I found my way into Maccabi Tel Aviv, the first thing that I told them is that I'm willing to come to Israel and work for free. I came to work every single day, and I treated it like my full-time job. I made it a point to be there as much as possible so that people understood that I was there for them. As the year went on, I got other opportunities outside of that club to work, to earn money, to train people, to network, to go to events, all because I came there with no specific expectation besides learning and growing. I got to meet so many people in the industry, my brand grew, my name grew, and I started to get full-time work outside of that. I knew that there was a return on that investment because I wanted to build relationships. I had no expectations in return of the work. I know that networking is the name of the game. I wanted to build my trust throughout the people. It was important for me to get exposure as somebody coming from the United States. I knew that the only thing that would cost them is their time in helping me. And of course, fitness and basketball are things that I love, so it was a passion I definitely wanted to pursue. And I put myself in a position where this was a short-term investment that I knew would provide me long-term value. Look, let me ask you a question. If you have an Instagram or a TikTok or a Facebook or a YouTube, and you're not monetizing on the content that you put out, you know what you're doing? You're working for free, because it's gonna take you time to make that content, it's gonna take you time to edit that content, and it's gonna take you time to produce that content. And then you put it out to the internet. And all of the people who see your stuff are consuming the content that cost you your time. Do you get paid for every time you press post on Instagram, on TikTok, or YouTube, or Facebook, or Snapchat, or Twitter? No, and neither do I. We provide free content to the world because we're trying to provide value for others. And a lot of the times, the people that you're putting out content to for free are actually the ones that are helping you grow. Maybe they become customers. They're the people who engage with your content, so now your brand is growing. And ultimately, they begin to trust you. So you working for free is kind of the same thing. In this case, the people that you're working for are the people that you're trying to build that trust with. At the end of the day, they're the ones that have the leverage. They ultimately decide if they want you back the next day. They're gonna be the ones grading your work ethic. They're gonna be the ones determining if you're a hard worker. And they're definitely the people who are gonna give your work recommendation to the next person to springboard you closer to your dreams. So I want you to think about what I'm telling you, because if you're in a situation to do this, I'm telling you right now, it's an incredible investment. And I would be a fool if I was giving you guys this advice if I was not doing this myself. Look, I still do it today. I have people following me on Instagram, following me on TikTok, athletes who want me to mentor them in many ways. I get on the phone with them, I talk to them on WhatsApp, I talk to them on social media, I FaceTime them, and I don't even take money for that. Is that time that I'm communicating with them, talking to them? I mean, yeah, technically my time is valuable, but this formula has worked for me forever and it's gonna continue to work. Because if I'm looking for some sort of monetary value every time that I help somebody, eventually I'm gonna learn that that model is not sustainable. If there's anything that I implore you to do, is take a look at your current life situation. What are your expenses? What are you doing in your free time? Where's your money going on leisure activities? And are there things from your life that you might be able to eliminate that might create some more financial comfort for you to eventually do something like this? And if not, that's okay. If now is not the time, maybe the future will be. Evaluate your own life and your own circumstances, because working for free is one of the best decisions I have ever made. This is such an easy topic to debate and one to argue with. And I'm totally cool with that because I love these conversations. So in the comment section, if you have any hesitations or if you disagree, let me know and let's talk. I don't think that I know it all, and I'm always willing to learn from other people and other perspectives to see how they see the world. But I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about this if I didn't think that it could provide you any value, because I've seen so much value in it for myself by doing this for such a long time. So I would be doing you a disservice by not letting you know something that helped me, because I really feel like it can help you. If you can, go work for free.